Okay guys, this is the first time that I'm doing a couple of things here. One, this is my new camcorder. I used it out in the garage, but this is the first time I used it in the CNC room with my lapel mic that's right here. Little battery powered on-off switch. This part I've got in my hand. Turned it on. I can see the scale going up and down on the screen there, so I'm assuming this is recording. This is going to be a good test because I'm doing something else new. I don't know if this screen will show up. Let me zoom in here. Here on the screen, I just got a design that Easel had, and the text is just a test. What I'm doing, I'll zoom back out now. What I'm doing is making a carving over here just on a piece of plywood that I had. I've already cut this down before. That's why it looks so ugly on the top. But I'm also, let me come back here a minute. I'm also using my I believe it's a 60-degree V-bit that I got from Inventables when I ordered this thing back almost a year ago. I think I've used this bit one time before on something. I don't think I filmed it. So I'm just doing a test, letting this cut, letting it carve with that bit. But you can see how noisy it is. This is extremely loud. This is as loud as anything that I've done before. I really probably should put on my earphones over here, but then I look real silly. See what I mean? That don't look that silly. Sounds a whole lot nicer in here anyway with these on. But I'm going to let this run over here, let it carve. I'm going to pan back over to it. Zoom in a little bit. Let's see if I can pan this down some. There we go. And we'll just let that run for a little while. I will go ahead and pause the videoing because it's not really interesting for you, I don't believe, and I'm wasting just good battery letting this thing sit here and just run. You can't really see that well what it's doing. You can hear it. It is carving. Like I said, I'm testing several things. One, I'm testing that V-bit out. Went online. Of course, Intervals does not have any V-bit carving protocols as yet. But someone had questioned it, and they said, well, most people were telling them they set the bit depth or the bit size at 0.03125 inches, and the bit depth, carving depth at 0.125 inches. So that's what I did with this test here. Set them there, letting it carve, see what happens. So we'll see what it does, and we will let it go at that. But it's already 23% done, and it hadn't been carving that long, so I'm going to go ahead and pause it for now. And when this is done, I'll come back and let you know what kind of results I've got out of it. Okay? Talk to you later. Okay, folks, looks like everything is completed here. I'll get all hooked back up and turned on. Turn this off. Turn this off. Turn the exhaust off. And I know there's been people tell me, don't push your machine like that. Well, I appreciate the warnings, folks, but hey, it's the easiest way to get something done. Or not easiest, well, the easiest and quickest. I just go slow and careful, and hopefully it won't damage any electronics. And if it does, well, that's my burden to bear, I guess. All right, finish this carving. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed that it might seem a little brighter in here than it was a while ago on the video, but it is because I remembered when I come back to turn my backlight on in here, so I'll have double the light in the room that I had before. But all things considered, this came out quite well. Remembering one, that it's carving on plywood, and as you all know, if you've carved in plywood, as it carves down and it goes through the successive layers of ply, bits and pieces do chip off. That's why I don't carve anything that I'm going to keep or use in plywood. But this was, as it says, just a test. I'll get it right in a minute, folks. Just a test. I wanted to see how that bit carved, and all things considered, it did pretty good. I see some lines and extra depth of cut here in some places. It isn't that bad, but it's not that good. It's nothing that I'd call acceptable, and it's nothing that I would want to sell or give to anybody. But not knowing the particulars on that bit that easel sells, and just setting it to those settings that I got off of the easel forum page or help page, whatever I got it from. I know I told you here a few weeks back that I was having problems with my machine, that I had a lot of play like this in my Z-axis, and I'd called Inventables and they sent me some new V-wheels, which they sent me 3. I needed 2. I may have discussed this already. If I have, forgive me, my brain just sometimes not as up to it as it should be. Let me see if I can get me more in the picture here. There you go. I did take this thing down, take it apart, and put the 2 new V-wheels on, and now this is just as rock solid. I mean, this don't shake at all. That's just as rock solid as can be, like it was when it was new. So that has fixed that problem. I have carved a few items since replacing these wheels with my end mill bits that are flat bottom end mill bits, and the carvings just came out beautifully. So that was my problem. So when I took those 2 V wheels off of this side of the Z axis, they just literally fell to pieces in my hands. So they just flat wore out. I don't know if these will last longer or not, but if they start experiencing the same problems here in the next few months, I will have an idea what the problem is. Instead of sitting there and trying to figure out what it is, I'll just order some more V-wheels and replace them. It wasn't that difficult, a little time consuming. I mean, you have to practically break the whole Z-axis down to do it, but hey, you know, that's what it takes. It's what it takes. So again, this would have probably looked better if it had been on regular wood instead of plywood. But I just noticed in here, if you can see that in the J or not, there's a little, I don't know if that's going to show up on screen or not, but in the letter J, there's some unevenness here in the bottom, and throughout this, whatever this design is from easel, there's unevenness through these big sweeping parts here. And down here in the A, I can see a little unevenness. And over here, not so much in the T, but it's still there. Again, I think it's a combination of several things. One, the V-bit, and not knowing the exact parameters of that V-bit for the size of the bit, depth of cut that it should be at. The fact that it's being cut in this plywood. I imagine there's numerous factors that goes into getting a result like this. I would be tempted to carve one of my good pieces of wood over here just to see what it looks like, but I'm not going to do it because that's my good stuff. I don't want to use my good stuff when I'm just running a test. So just a little short video. Wanted to show you that I am still around, even though I haven't done anything in a while out here. I've been working out in the garage doing my DIY woodworker work. Made a couple of videos. I don't know if you've seen them or not. If you didn't, you can go back to my channel. They're there. But got that all done, and I was sitting around tonight, nothing on TV that I want to watch, so I thought, well, I'll just go up front and fire up the CNC and play around with that big V-bit. And that's what I did. That's what this is. I'm not so convinced that I'll use this big V-bit on anything. Not until I come up with some better instructions with it. I guess I can take these funny ears off. Oh, there I am. Not echoing in my head anymore. But I wanted to see what it would do. I've seen. I don't know if I'll use it again or not. I bought this from Inventables when I bought the router kit. I got those 2 V-bits that they sell. Again, I don't know why they sell V-bits when they don't have any V-bit protocol for the X card. Maybe somebody can answer that for me. I don't know. I know I've talked to them about it before, and I've read it online here where they say, well, we don't do anything with V-bits right now as of yet. Well, okay. When? Your equipment's been out for a while now. I know you're busy. I know you're doing all kind of wonderful stuff, and I do appreciate it. But if you're going to sell a product, back the product. And if you can't back the product, don't sell it. Seems sensible to me, but that's just me. Okay, guys, don't get me wrong. I think Inventables is probably the finest company you'll ever have anything to do with. Their customer satisfaction is second to none. And every time I've called with a problem within a reasonable time, they've gotten either immediately back to me or within 24 hours. So, and every time I've needed something or messed up something or broke something or something happened, Johnny on the spot sent me stuff, and I don't know that they've charged me for any of the replacement parts they've sent me as yet. But they're just a real fine company when it comes to customer satisfaction. So anyhow, getting down off my soapbox. Don't want to run this thing out no longer than it already is. So I hope you enjoy my new camera. That's my new Canon Viexia, or however they pronounce it. Digital camcorder. It's about as big as a mouse. But and my microphone here that records directly into the camera now, so I don't have to shout to be heard by the camera microphone. So I hope this all comes out all right, and as soon as I have something new to carve, or think of something new to carve that I want to carve or needs carving, we will be back with another video. In the meantime, this is the DIY/CNC woodworker, and we will talk to you again soon. Have a good day.